I just wanted to go back a moment. You said a moment ago that President Trump kept the taxes where they were, and it wasn't a big tax cut. That has not been CNN's position for months. CNN said it was a big tax cut for the rich people. Most commentators on this network have said that. I made the point that this was merely stopping a tax increase, and you're not agreeing with me.
Let me clarify.
Republican strategist Brad Todd completely shuts down Abby Phillips' talking point. And even CNN can't cover it up once he mentions the middle-class tax cuts. She has no answer because their arguments fall apart as soon as someone challenges them. Welcome to U.S. News Pulse. Democrats and their media supporters are having a hard time explaining why Trump keeps winning on economic issues. Whenever people talk about affordability, the left tries to rewrite the last 4 years under Biden and Harris, hoping people forget that prices went up by 21%. It's the same blame game they always use when they are cornered. Here's Todd continuing his direct takedown while CNN's panel of confident liberal commentators looks frustrated.
That, the Trump administration and the Republicans in Congress, they had some choices that they faced. They could have
raised taxes or stopped.
They could have kept taxes the same for the vast majority of Americans, and they could have raised taxes for the wealthy. They chose not to do that. They decided to keep taxes more or less the same, but also cut spending in ways that cut what lower income Americans received from the government for their tax dollars, and use that transfer to fund the tax cuts for wealthy people. So look, you can call it whatever you want. My only point is,
but I want to put a pin in this.
But my only point is, Brad, I think that Mike Johnson and you and Donald Trump thought that, well, the American people are going to reward you for giving them those tax cuts. Well, it turns out they're not really going to give you a brownie for keeping things basically the same. They wanted things to improve, and it's not.
But Abby, if you think the economy is not what it ought to be now, you should have seen what would have happened if their taxes had gone up. Yeah, if Democrats tried to raise taxes on every American,
act as if this was
you
act as if this was a
Democrats had no plan. They had no plan to stop the tax
increases for
working people.
Kept taxes low for the vast majority of Americans, and
Democrats
they could have rolled back some tax cuts. They chose not to do that. That was a choice. That was a policy choice.
This is the same kind of nonsense people stopped believing years ago. Philip keeps saying Trump's tax cuts only help billionaires, even though Republicans were the ones stopping Democrats from raising taxes on working families. Remember, real wages dropped 4% under Biden. People would never accept higher taxes when they were already owning less. Trump's tax cuts helped about 80% of taxpayers and saved the average middle-class family around $1,200 a year. CNN acting confused about why things are so expensive, while ignoring Biden's 25% rise in grocery prices and 30% increase in energy costs, is just ridiculous.
That was a choice. That was a policy choice.
Larger gap in America between the haves and have-nots right now. And the problem is that Donald Trump lives in a white billionaire bubble. And if you are a multimillionaire, if you are a billionaire, you're doing very well because the stock market, despite everything else that's going on, is going strong. But if you are one of the people who shops at Costco and goes home with 30 rolls of toilet paper and 20 pounds of, ground beef, you are feeling it. And these people that Trump hangs out with on a daily basis, the billionaires in his cabinet, the billionaires at Mar-a-Lago, the billionaires that he invites to the White House, they are not feeling it. And he just, he is clueless. When he says that affordability doesn't mean anything to anybody, it means a hell of a lot to the people who can't get health care
now are
because
Democrats.
Those premiums, actually they're not.
Yes, they are. For every billionaire who gave Donald Trump money, Kamala Harris got 2.
All right.
So this is really a Democrat issue now.
There's a lot of billionaires in Mar-a-Lago.
Calling Trump the candidate of billionaires makes no sense when Harris actually got twice as many billionaire endorsements. Her Wall Street fundraiser alone brought in $27 million. CNN keeps talking about Trump's billionaire bubble, but they ignore people like Harrison Walls, who collected money from wealthy donors while lecturing working families about equity. Meanwhile, Biden's inflation hurt those same families with a total 21% price increase, eggs reaching $5 a dozen and real wages dropping. Trump's plans for energy deregulation and tariff changes are meant to undo that damage and get things moving in the right direction again.
Scott Jennings, with all due respect, the President of the United States ran on lowering prices. That's what he ran on against Joe Biden. Obviously, there are other issues as well. And now that it's his economy, he wants to say, well, this doesn't matter at all. is he not running into the same problem that Biden had? I mean, President Biden was trying to convince people that they shouldn't believe their lying eyes, right? Or that they should believe their lying eyes. And now the president seems to be doing the same thing.
Well, I don't think he believes it doesn't matter. I believe he thinks the con job is the idea that Democrats would run around screaming about affordability when they're the ones who took prices to the moon over 4 years and seem to want to bear no responsibility for supporting the Biden-Harris agenda, which caused the affordability crisis in America to begin with.
I mean, the tariffs aren't making it any better. Honestly, I shouldn't make this argument. Mark should over here. I'm going to hand you that ball.
I think people expect you to. Look, he's got an economic theory, and they're executing it, and it includes making the tax cuts permanent. It includes energy deregulation, which has created low gas prices. And it includes, all the things they put in the big, beautiful bill, and they've got more to do. But the idea that we're going to cede the affordability conversation to Democrats who ran prices to the moon and now act like they had nothing to do with it and that Donald Trump is fully responsible for that is a complete con job. He's right about that. Now, in an election cycle, he has to go out and make the case. He's the best salesman in the party, and he has to draw the line, not just on what he's doing, but what they would do and what they did do, and I suspect that's what he'll do.
Jennings explains it very clearly. Trump isn't falling for this fake affordability panic because everyone knows the real crisis started under Biden. Prices kept going up for 4 years straight. Inflation hit 9.1%. Groceries went up 25%. And Biden added $9 trillion to the national debt. Now Trump is actually improving things. The economy is growing at 3.8%. Manufacturing has added over 200,000 jobs. Real incomes are finally rising. And the supply chain is strong enough that egg prices have dropped almost 50% from their highest wholesale point. Meanwhile, CNN keeps blaming Trump for problems he didn't create while giving Democrats a free pass. What do you think? Are Democrats panicking because Biden's economic problems can't be hidden anymore? Tell me in the comments. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. It really does help. This has been US News Pulse. Thanks for watching.